You can fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can have all you ever wanted.
This week on the show, we have Caleeb Pinket, the executive producer of the hit TV show Cobra Kai. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about understanding the importance of focusing your energy on all the things that can go right, rather than what can go wrong. So often, we base our goals and desires on the assumption that things won't work out for us, or that it will be too difficult to attain. Successful people put their energy into focusing on the end result and all the things that can go right, envisioning how they will feel when their goal is complete. They dwell in possibility of everything unfolding the way they imagined, and even in the event that it doesn't, they are open to adapting and still expect a positive outcome. Make it your mission today to focus your energy on what you want, not on what you don't want to manifest, and watch your life unfold in your favor. As Buddha quotes, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create." Stay tuned. Coming up after the break. So Will Smith is your brother-in-law, and I heard that he put you through the ringer when you wanted to get into Hollywood. I watched a really funny interview where he told you have to get a six-pack and that you had to read a bunch of books, but he did that to prepare you for the industry because, as I said, it's so difficult, right? So let's talk about that and how Will Smith kind of was your mentor and really prepared you for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. And he still is my mentor. And what it was, he felt that he's like, in this business, it's so taxing on you mentally and emotionally, right? And he said, I need to know you have the mental fortitude to be able to handle everything that's about to be thrown at you, right? And he said, the best way to test that is through physicality, right? And at the time he would tease me, he said I was skinny with a gut. And he was like, so until you get a six-pack, we're not doing anything. And I was like, what's the point of the six-pack? And he said, because I need to know that you can train your mind to reject the things that your body is craving.
Wardrobe provided by H&M. Next up on the show, we have American actor and producer Caleeb Pinket. Caleeb is also one of the executive producers of the hit Netflix TV show Cobra Kai. Caleeb, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
I cannot complain. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for making it happen. I'm really, really excited to speak with you. You have so many amazing accolades, but before we get into that, let's talk about your passion for storytelling and why you wanted to get into the entertainment industry.
Well, I just grew up loving movies, like as a kid, and I thought they were real. You know, as a child, I thought the actors were really those people and all of that. So I was just enamored with the medium. And then my sister started acting at a very young age, so I started getting exposed to it and seeing it. And then I just been a lover of story. Like, my mom is a devout Christian, so she raised me in the church. So, you know, the Bible, all of those things are stories, right? So I just really consumed story at a young age and mixed in with movies, and then my love for history. And because of that, history is storytelling. Like, it's perfect storytelling. It's a beginning, middle, and end. It's a character who wants something and all the obstacles that it takes for the character to get it, and they either do or they don't. And it's something that has been near and dear to my heart for years, well, since I was a child. And so I never thought about that I would be able to make it into a career. And I was able to, you know, blessed through my family, them being into the business and, you know, making it easier to get in. And then just all the things that I've been able to do because of story. It's like, it's the greatest thing on earth. It's like, I don't work. I do what I love. And, you know, it's one of the things my father told me. He said, hell is getting up to a job that you hate. Heaven is waking up to a job you love. And I'm blessed to be able to do that.
That's amazing. I can completely relate to you on that because I'm a journalist. I love storytelling. I've been like that since I was a kid, and I love what I do, even though it's a very difficult industry. It's time consuming. It's a lot, right? And you really have to hustle. but it's so good. It's such a great industry, and I have a passion for storytelling as well, so I can completely relate to that. So Will Smith is your brother-in-law, and I heard that he put you through the ringer when you wanted to get into Hollywood. I watched a really funny interview where he told you have to get a six-pack and that you had to read a bunch of books, but he did that to prepare you for the industry because, as I said, it's so difficult, right? So let's talk about that and how Will Smith kind of was your mentor and really prepared you for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. And he still is my mentor. And what it was, he felt that he's like, in this business, it's so taxing on you mentally and emotionally, right? And he said, I need to know you have the mental fortitude to be able to handle everything that's about to be thrown at you, right? And he said, the best way to test that is through physicality, right? And at the time he would tease me, he said I was skinny with a gut. And he was like, so until you get a six-pack, we're not doing anything. And I was like, what's the point of the six-pack? And he said, because I need to know that you can train your mind to reject the things that your body is craving in order to achieve a goal that you want. Because I love pizza and French fries and ice cream and all that. And a lot of that was I couldn't eat it for a while because I was in this training. And he was like, that is going to let me know how much mental fortitude you have, and you have the ability to shut down things that your body is craving in order to accomplish the goal. And so that was his reasoning behind it. And, you know, I love him for it because it definitely worked and it helped a lot.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to have mental fortitude in this industry, right? And to be successful in anything really, but especially in this industry because everybody wants to do it and there's so limited spots, right? So you really have to hustle. And I like that he did that. That's actually a very interesting way of doing things, is kind of seeing if you can really train your mind to accomplish your goal. And when he saw that, he was like, okay, you're ready. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
And I want to talk about one of your big breaks with Overbrook Entertainment. It's one of the leading entertainment companies in Hollywood. And I like that, you know, you started from the bottom and worked your way up. So let's talk about that. And what did that, I know you started with delivery. So let's talk about, you know, starting from the bottom and what it taught you, because, you know what, all of us start from the bottom, right? We all have to work our way up, whether it's a big actor or whether it's, you know, the president. You have to start small first, right? So let's talk about that. What did starting small kind of teach you along your journey, and what did you learn about yourself?
Well, I mean, that nothing was just going to be given to me. Like, I had to earn it. And making me drive everybody else around, drive luggage, pick people up and you know, back and forth from the airport, picking up food and lunch and taking people places. And, you know, me being a family member, what that did was it showed, like, we're not just giving him anything just because he's related. Like, people that, like, you tell him what to do, you give him your bag, he's gonna take your stuff, you know what I mean? And so what it did was it really was humbling, but not in a negative way. It was like really, really good, because I got to see, like, the flow of the company and how, at the time when Overbrook was doing its thing, the everybody in there, everybody's role, how everything flowed. And it was good to start at the lowest position at the company and then slowly start working my way up.
I think that's an important lesson for anyone watching, is that it doesn't matter who you are. You have to start small and work your way up. Nothing is given to you, right? Like, you have to, and that's really where you learn about yourself when you kind of go through starting small and you grow, right? So
absolutely. And for me, it was great because I was, like, probably the most fit driver
with a six-pack.
There wasn't no luggage I couldn't carry, you know what I mean? So it worked out.
Very nice. And I want to talk about Cobra Kai. You're one of the executive producers, which is, I love the show, by the way. It's an amazing show. Yeah. So why did you guys want to bring it back to life? And let's also talk about the transition from YouTube to Netflix. Okay.
So what it really was, John, Josh, and Hayden, they are the executive producers and showrunners, fantastic guys. They brought the idea to me. because
Oh,
at the
yeah.
time Overbrook controlled controlled the rights to the Karate Kid franchise, right? And even though they didn't want to do the Karate Kid, those characters are in the world, right? They're in the universe. So they had to come to Overbrook, to see if we were okay with it. And as soon as I heard the pitch, I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we're gonna follow Johnny's story. Like, oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I was like, so I needed to get it. First, I had to get Sony on board because they were like, really? Like, I don't know, right? And then they were Glenn Adelman, who's still over there at Sony. Shout out to Glenn. He was like, you know what, Caleb? I'm not too sure about this, but you're my guy. I got you. Let's go take it out. Let's see what happens. We'll just shoot for the fences. We'll see what happens. And YouTube Red was the first. So we went to them first, and they wanted it immediately. Like,
Wow.
offered us straight to series. They like, that's rare. Like, to get a straight to series offer in the room, 10 episodes off the bat. I was like, oh yes. And it was funny, Netflix was, we pitched Netflix as well after YouTube Red, because we were like, well, let's just test the waters. Like, we got a big bite on the first one. Like,
Yeah.
let's see. And Netflix, they liked it, but they were like, let's do a pilot and then we'll see, because we're not too sure. And plus, they're Netflix, you're the king of everything.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I told the guys, I said, look, I don't know about you, but you can wait for the prettiest girl at the party to see if she want to talk to you, or you could take this girl who's really cool, who's saying, hey, let's go kick it right now. And they were like, we're with you. We want to go. I said, they were like, we want to kick it right now. I said, cool. So we went to YouTube Red, and that's where it started. And then what happened was Google wanted to stop scripted content on, through YouTube Red, because Google owned it. And they were like, well, we got Google Maps. Like, we don't need no shows. So they cut it. They cut everything that they had.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, oh no. So now we were in limbo, and it was between Amazon and Netflix. And Netflix was like, you know what? We'll take that. And and the rest is history. We've been there for 3 seasons now, and I mean, it's a top rated show on Netflix. Every time it drops, it stays #1 for weeks. And it's this show, I swear, I get so much, if people know that I like it, like that is me, like that's my show. They're like, dude, this show, like, it's the only show me and my kids watch. I can watch with my mom. This is like, we all love it. It's so amazing. I got real martial artists that come to me and are like, listen, I love that show. Like, hey, bro, if I could get on, please give me an audition. I'll come in and this, and it's amazing. And I'm so proud of, because nobody thought it was gonna be what it became. None of us even did. I knew people would like it, but I didn't know to this. Like, it's like a phenomenon. Like, it really is. I wear my Cobra Kai jacket, and people are like, bro, do you work on the show? And I'm like, no, I'm the executive producer. What are you? What? Okay. So listen. So last season when this happened, they start going into stuff, and I just sit back and I love it. Like, to create and be a part of a project that impacts so many people with the thing that you want to do as a storyteller, and that's infect your audience with story, make them feel and emote from your creation, right? And like, to be a part of that. And John, Josh, and Hayden, I can't say it enough about them. They are phenomenal writers and Karate Kid gurus. Like, they know everything, every character, everything in the whole universe, and they bring it all to fruition in our show, and I couldn't be more happier to be a part of it.
Yeah, and how does it feel to see, talk about fruition, how does it feel to see like the fruits of your labor kind of manifest into what it is right now? Because as you said, it's a hit show. I'm sure there was a ton of hard work that went into creating this show. There's so much going on in the show. So, and I think we're on the, 5th season? We're coming up to the 5th season? Yeah. So what does it take to take a story and really make it into a series or a movie?
It takes, it's a lot. So what we call it is we have to break the story, right? And that means, like, especially with a television show, you have to break every character's line. So each character has their own arc, as we call it, for the season. And then you have to create the tent poles or the beats of their arc that will intersect and connect through every single episode. Wow. And then make it culminate in a final idea. So for the most part with us, we usually end in a tournament, or something to that nature. And so you build everything to have the maximum emotion in the tournament. You want, like in the original Karate Kid, you saw the times they bullied Daniel, right? You saw the fights. You saw Daniel get back with the water in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. You know how angry they were.
Yeah.
So when you go to the tournament, it's on, like it's prime, it's amped, and that's what we do with the show. So it takes months for the writers to do that, because they have to break it, and then you have to write it. You have to write the episodes, right? So it takes months to get a season up and going. You know what I mean? Like the writers are getting ready to start on Cobra Kai next month, because we start shooting in September. Mm-hmm. So it's all of that work and hard work, and the guys, John, Josh, and Hayden, are doing the heavy lifting for season 6 right now. Right, and then they'll get into the writers' room and break it with all the writers, because they can't do it all by themselves. It's just it's so much work. So it's an absolute team effort, but it's wonderful. I mean, come on, you get to tell stories for a living. How great is that? You know what I mean? Some people actually have to work hard, like pick up boxes and dig ditches, and you know what I mean? We get to say, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we actually had Hannah Kelper. She was one of the actors on Cobra Kai. We had her last year on the show. So it's a fantastic show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your success. I mean, you've been really successful in this industry, and you did it on your own merit. So if you can name 3 things that have made you successful, 3 traits that you say you possess, what would you say they are?
Passion, discipline, naivete.
Oh.
Because yes, and what I mean by the naivete is this: if you just think you can do it, and you don't know why, you're more than likely going to do it. Like Will has this quote where he would always tell me. He says, "The man who says he can and the man who says he can't are both usually right."
Yeah.
Right. And it's like. So you want to stay naive in the sense where somebody say, no, you can't do that. They would have said, no, you can't sell Cobra Kai. That sounds corny. Nobody's going to want to see that. That's terrible. And who are you? You're just starting. Your boss isn't doing it. Will's not doing it. Like, no, stop. Okay. If you listen to all that, you're like, dang, they're right. I am young. I am new. Yeah, you're right. It is kind of nerdy. It is a little lame. So now you won't do it, right? But if you're like, I don't care what you say, I think it's gonna work, and I'm gonna do it. And like just taking the leap. That's what you have to do. It's like you have to believe in yourself, no matter what. And people are going to tell you you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you don't have enough experience, you talk funny, you look different, the way you dress isn't industry standard, whatever, you cuss too much, whatever something. People are always going to tell you what you cannot do, and you have to have the naivete and to believe, why not? Yeah, I can. Why not? You know what I mean? People, it's so crazy. Well, one of my favorite rappers back in the day, his name is Nelly. And Nelly tells the story that everybody in the industry passed on his first album twice. And that album, when it came out, sold over 10 million records. You know what I mean? Like nobody knows anything. Nobody knows. And you have to go with your heart and your gut. If you believe in something, you just got to push it. And it takes a little naivete to do that, because you just like, for some reason, I believe I can do it. So that's what I would say.
I completely 100% agree with that, because you know what's funny, when I got into this industry and I said I wanted to do all the things I would do and I would interview the people I do, a lot of people said I was naive, including my teachers, because I went to school for news. So they'd be like, you're naive, this industry is really hard. And I kept proving them wrong. They said I wouldn't get a news job. I got a job at NBC in the States. Everything people told me I couldn't do, I did. And I don't have any limits on what I can accomplish. I feel like if you tell me I could do anything, I'm like, okay. And in a way, it's because maybe it's naivety, but at the end of the day, it's better to be naive and just keep going than overthink it, right? And be like, oh, I can't do this, and put limits or constraints on your beliefs, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And my show is all about inspiration. I created this platform to inspire, to uplift, and to showcase that anything is possible. So Caleeb, for one of our viewers watching that maybe isn't seeing their dreams come to fruition, maybe they're putting in the work, but they're just not seeing the results, and maybe they feel unmotivated or going through a hard time, what would you say to encourage and uplift them?
Wow. I would say really decide, go deep into yourself and really make sure that what you're pursuing is what you love. Because if you love it, you're not gonna quit. You'll endure. That's why you have to love what you do, because this job is not easy. Telling stories, making movies, television shows, it's like a minor miracle to get a movie made, right? It's like you'll come up, you'll have 10 projects and only one will sell. And selling and getting it made, which is what we call green light, are two completely different things. It may not ever get made, right? So it's like you have to love it, because the love is what will keep you going through the hard times. And if you want to quit at something, the desire to quit is normal, but actually doing that is a tragedy. So I would say, make sure you love it, because if you do, I strongly doubt that you're gonna give up. And eventually something is gonna open up for you. Because like with me, I started in acting because I thought I wanted to be an actor, and like, ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. But no, story was like making the story and putting stuff together and selling it and doing that was way more of my passion than standing in front of a camera, right? So I found my lane. So I would say somebody has to figure out what they love and then go towards it, because what will happen is your destiny will find you. You know what I mean? As long as you're going in the direction that you're supposed to, you'll do it. There's a book Will gave me to read called The Element, and the idea of the element is that you're in your element when you find what you're good at, what you love, and what people will pay you to do, right? So like Drake, since you guys are in Toronto, Drake's element is music, right? He's great at it, he loves it, and people pay him a lot of money to do it. That's the element. You know what I mean? LeBron's element is basketball. He's great at it, he loves it, and he gets paid to do it. That's what you want to be able to do. So that's what I would encourage somebody. Just make sure you love it and just keep going and stay naive. Stay naive. Just keep believing you can do it, even though everybody says you can't.
That's so true, right? Passion is, I would say, one of the most important things, because when you're passionate, you won't take a no personally. You're just going to keep going. When you're passionate, it doesn't matter what the obstacles are. You're just going to have that end goal in mind and know how you're going to feel at the end of the road once you're finished, right? So it's passion. Absolutely. And I think that's so true. Caleeb, thank you so much for being on the show today. Like, you're very inspirational. You should be a motivational speaker. You should add that to your list. I feel inspired and pumped. It was so good talking to you. Congratulations on all your success. And we hope to have you back soon when you're in Toronto.
All right. Love to. Thank you so much.
Tag TV is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple and Android TVs, as well as on Apple and Android phones. Watch us live through YouTube and Facebook.
You can fly higher than